Let me tell y'all something right now. When the New England Patriots used a draft pick on a long snapper, folks laughed. They scratched their heads. A long snapper? Really? But see, they ain't looking deeper. They ain't thinking like Mike Vrabel. They ain't thinking like the Patriots. And they sure ain't watching tape like I am. So sit tight, because Unsee is about to explain why this small pick could end up being one of the smartest moves of the 2025 NFL draft. It's rare to see a long snapper drafted. We're talking 19 in total NFL history. Barely a handful when you consider how many players come through the league. And of those, only a few stuck around. The Patriots know that firsthand. They picked Joe Cardona back in 2015. That man didn't just stick around. He became a captain. Highest paid at his position. 10 years in New England. That ain't luck. That's evaluation, that's fit, that's production. So when they used the 251st overall pick on Julian Ashby out of Vanderbilt, that wasn't panic. That wasn't reaching. That was deliberate. That was Vrabel saying, I want my guy, and I'm not leaving it to chance. See, Mike Vrabel didn't walk in just trying to copy Bill Belichick. Nah, he brought his own flavor, his own toughness. But what he did bring from the Belichick era, that respect for special teams. You win close games in January, not just with stars, but with snap, hold, and kick. Vrabel flipped the roster. ESPN's Mike Rice said it's almost a 50-50 turnover. Big names gone, including Cardona. Just a year after the team made him the highest-paid long snapper in football, they moved on. Why? Because Vrabel had a vision. And Julian Ashby fit that vision. Let me break it down. Julian Ashby ain't just some walk-on story. He started at Furman, transferred to Vanderbilt, and shined. 6'1", 231 pounds. Snaps with power and precision. Consistent. Smart. But what makes him different is his athleticism. The man can run, block, and hustle. Special teams coaches called him a specimen. Vanderbilt's Jeff Lepak said Ashby gave their kickers and punters time and confidence. That's what you need. That rhythm, that trust, that chemistry. That's how you build a reliable operation. And Ashby? He checks all the boxes. Now some folks might say, why not just sign him as a UDFA? But this kid had interests. He worked out privately for 10 teams. Took a pre-draft visit to Chicago. Patriots had 2 picks left, 251 and 257. No way they risked losing him in those 6 spots. They pulled the trigger. And in doing so, the Patriots became the only team in the league with 3 drafted specialists. Bryce Behringer at punter, Andy Borregals at kicker, and now Julian Ashby. That's called investing in the foundation. Joe Cardona was a Patriot through and through. Navy man, team captain, leader, but the NFL is a business. And Vrabel, despite his own respect for Cardona, had to make a call. Cardona ended up signing with Miami. It'll be fine. But Ashby, he steps in with pressure, expectations, and the knowledge that the last guy held that job for a decade. That's not a bad thing. You want guys who want that smoke. Look, the Patriots ain't winning the AFC East with flash. Not yet. They don't got a Mahomes. They don't got a Josh Allen. What they do have is discipline, coaching, and now, elite special team. 3 drafted specialists. That means Vrabel's building chemistry from the ground up. Ashby snaps. Behringer holds. Borregals kicks. That's a rhythm you build over seasons. That's how you survive the cold weather December games. These full well. That's how you win the field position battle in a playoff push. Of the 9 pure long snappers drafted since 2015, only one was still on a team before this draft, Joe Cardona. Maybe Blake Ferguson joins him, but he's a free agent right now. That tells you two things. Teams rarely draft long snappers. The Patriots know how to pick the right one. That's good news for Ashby. If New England uses a pick on you, especially at that position, they believe. They expect, and they'll develop you. After years of offensive struggles and uncertainty at quarterback, Mike Vrabel is refocusing the Patriots' identity. Not around flashy weapons, but around field position, toughness, and execution. Drafting Ashby symbolizes a return to complementary football. If your offense is average and your defense is elite, special teams becomes the third pillar. Ashby is the anchor for that strategy. This ain't just about one snap. It's about who you want your team to be. Ashby's the type of dude that says, "We might not win pretty, but we gon' win clean." Shannon long snappers are rarely discussed until they mess up. Missing out on a prospect like Ashby in undrafted free agency would have left the Patriots scrambling in camp. By drafting him, they've drafted in a controlled contract, development window, and avoided a bidding war. It's not just about 2025. It's about having long-term stability at a position where mistakes can lose championships. Kickers rely on consistency. Behringer and Borregales are both young and developing, and the addition of Ashby allows that trio to grow together. The longer they play as one unit, the stronger their rhythm becomes. It's the same reason great offenses and defenses emphasize chemistry. This specialist group now has the chance to become one of the league's best over time. People don't talk about special teams trios, but they should. You get that snap-hold kick machine locked in for 5, 6, 7 years. That's points, that's wins. I know what you're thinking. And see, you really just talked 5,000 words about a long snapper. You damn right I did. And of those, only a few stuck around. The Patriots know that firsthand. They picked Joe Cardona back in 2015. That man didn't just stick around. He became a captain. Highest paid at his position. 10 years in New England. That ain't luck. That's evaluation, that's fit, that's production. So when they used the 251st overall pick on Julian Ashby out of Vanderbilt, that wasn't panic. That wasn't reaching. That was deliberate. That was Vrabel saying, "I want my guy, and I'm not leaving it to chance." See, Mike Vrabel didn't walk in just trying to copy Bill Belichick. Nah, he brought his own flavor, his own toughness. But what he did bring from the Belichick era, that respect for special teams. You win close games in January, not just with stars, but with snap, hold, and kick. 'Cause football ain't just about the highlight plays. It's about details. It's about trust. It's about foundation. And with Julian Ashby, Mike Vrabel didn't just draft a long snapper. He drafted a culture piece, a technician, a worker, somebody who could be snapping in Foxborough until 2035. And when the Patriots steal a win off a perfect 52-yard field goal in the wind, don't forget who made that snap. This move right here, quiet now, but loud later. Julian Ashby. Remember the name.